I wanna be the very best, or at the very least adequate. Oh, hi. Welcome back after our long break, episode 32. I hope your holidays were good. And I missed you. I honestly miss playing this game together. We are going to be doing grinding today. Yay, yay, yay. Super, super fun. But in order to make sure that I'm grinding the appropriate team, I am first going to make a stop over into the Safari Zone just to have my encounter. I am hoping to get a execute, but I will settle for anything in the Nidoran line, and if I get a Chansey, that would be absolute perfection. So we're going to do this real quick, and then we'll transition into grinding mode. Don't look into that. Always leave room for Jesus when you're doing grinding mode. Alright, let's see what we get. Nidoran. Not the best, but I'll take it. Lots of different strategies you can do. There is a system by which you can use bait and rocks in order to try and game how much your catch rate goes up, but I'm the fan of just chuck Safari balls and hope for the best. This is not going well. And that's it. That was our Safari Zone encounter. We are done. Okay. Cute. Well, now we can start grinding. Do I need to heal my Pokemon before I grind? I do. Okay. Well, you know, we gave it a try. Now that I know that... and actually, I can just cut down bushes. I don't know why I'm making this so difficult for myself. Bud, make it so. Now that I know that I'm not going to get a better grass type than Bud, I can teach him Mega Drain, which I will do. And that'll make my grinding a little bit easier too. And the reason why we're grinding is because I believe the ace in Koga's gym is like 41. And I don't want to go too far outside of that level range. I don't want to make the game too easy. So I'll be leveling all the Pokemon until level 38, just so that they are competitive. So I will, let's see. Yeah, this is the team that I'm going to level up, and I'm going to get them all to 38. So there's not too, well, I say that now, it's going to take forever, but we're in our 30s all through. So, you know, hopefully it's not going to be too bad. I don't remember what Mega Drain is. So we're just going to pause and take a look. The Mega Drain TM is TM 21. There we go. And Bud. There you go, friend. Let's get rid of that absorb. That's not doing anything for you anymore. You know what, Bud? I'll do you one better. I was waiting to get... I can't remember what it's called again. Seriously? Leaf Storm? Yell at me, editing CocoPapa. I know, okay? I know. I'm a fake gamer, I know. I was waiting to get that grass move that he learns on level up, but now that he has Mega Drain, I would prefer that he gets better stats. So let's just make him Vileplume now. Get you a new hat. There we go. Because the stat gains on Vileplume will be much, much better. So that'll help us out better. All right, so those are all the changes that are going to happen for a while. I am going to grind west of town. And there are some trainers here. I think I can avoid them. Yeah, I can avoid them if I just stick with this patch of grass, so there won't be any encounters. So we are going to enter grinding mode now, and I will go and answer some of your questions of the audience. I'll only pan back to show you what the major updates are. We're going to start by grinding up Bud to level 38, and I'll just show you when we reach the cap for each of them. Grinding mode, go! All right, so our first question comes from good old TSG. He asks, what do you feel is the worst Pokemon design in Gym 1? Most forgettable? I find that the most forgettable for me is Horsey Seadra and Goldeen Seaking. Also, Krabby Kinkler. The amount of mono-type waters in Gen 1 is too damn high. The man's not wrong. So I pulled up this image from Reddit. It is the sprites from the game. You've been seeing these all game. These are specifically the red sprites, which I appreciate. And they've all been beautifully colorized. I've never seen them with this much, like, color fidelity would be how I would pronounce it. They just did an absolute wonderful bang up job here. I want to get this blown up as a poster and put it on my wall. This is just a great image. So this is the base that we're working from, and you got some real standouts in terms of cool design. Like Scyther runs by the rule of cool. I've never seen him good in any game, but dang, is he one of the coolest sprites I've ever seen in the world. So yeah, we're gonna start with this list here, and I am going to pare away all of the Pokemon that have any sort of features that make them stand out, make them look cool in any sort of way. So what I should be left with is Pokemon that are just not unique, very forgettable looking Pokemon. All right, I think this might be it. There it is, 38. Bud is now fully up to speed, and we'll be rotating in somebody else. Falcor needs it the next most. We'll put him in. So re-begins the grind. We are 50 minutes in. Oh dear. Hopefully the next bit goes faster. Alright, after looking things through, I have lumped the Pokemon into two categories. I've cut out everything that had some sort of fantastical element to it. So like, originally, as was mentioned in the question, Goldeen was going to make my list, but it has a horn, right? There is something about it that is slightly fantastical. The Pokemon that make this list don't really have any fantastical elements. They might as well just be human world things. So Pidgey's a bird, Rattata's a rat, Spearo's a sparrow, Krabby's a crab. These all look exactly roughly how they would look in the real world. Same with Horsey. Magikarp is a very specific type of fish, but it has a real world corollary. Machop is just a tiny gray boy, like in real life, who probably could use some food. Why is his ribs so protruded? I feel bad for him. Staryu is... These three are a little bit more forgivable. Staryu is fancier than any starfish I've ever seen, and he looks like a Jimmy Dodger. Voltorb looks like a Pokeball, and Pokeballs aren't real, so that's slightly fantastical, I guess. And Tauros technically has multiple tails, which bulls don't have in real life, so he gets by in a technicality there. The uninspired evolutions is my other category. Like, two of these are just the same as like Diglett, but 3. Magnemite, but 3. Machop is just stretched out into Machoke and given some steroids. Glad we can't see his ribs anymore, I guess. And Electrode is just an upside down sassy Voltorb. Like, all of these are pretty forgettable. In fact, like, I honestly forget Krabby is in any given game. So it's because of that reason specifically that I'm giving it to Krabby. Krabby is the most forgettable Pokemon in terms of sprite and in terms of execution. There's just nothing really special about him. At least Kingler learns Guillotine, and I think Crab Hammer, which is something unique only to Krabby. But like, who cares? I don't care. Do you care? You don't care. So that's the most boring. And in terms of the worst, I mean, obviously it's Jinx. Let's see, is this it? That's it. All right. Falcor's 38. Oh, I am an hour and 35 minutes into the grind. It is wearing on me. But we're getting close, right? So Jalapeno is going to take a while to level on account of the fact that he doesn't do a ton of damage, but after him, I think I should be able to get through this pretty quickly. What I'm finding is helping me is that in this patch of grass, there are Raticates and Fearow. And because they are a second stage evolution, they offer quite a bit of experience. So every time one pops up, it saves me some time. The other two things that spawn are Doduo, which you just saw, and then there are also Spearow. Those are low XP gains, but they're also really easy to burn down in 1 or 2 hits. So I will keep grinding on through, and we shall hope for the best. Back to grinding mode. Our second question also comes from Tom Selleck Gaming. Sometimes I doubt the rest of y'all's commitment to Sparkle Motion.
Sometimes I doubt your commitment to Sparkle Motion.
Question for a future episode. If you could live anywhere in the Kanto region, where would it be and why? Great question. Let's go house hunting. What? Oh yeah, it's dragon time. Oh, look at him. Oh, look at him. He's a whole ass dragon now, folks. Love it. The big ol' jalapeno. 2 more levels to go. Oh, Arceus, have mercy on my soul. So I decided to handle this like any good YouTuber would, and I'd made a tier list. So we are going to rank all of the main locations in Kanto along this tier list, the axes of which are going to be from Paradise to literally Florida in terms of where we would want to live. So I have all of the locations pulled up, and I could have done this tier list on any of a number of websites, but some of them required me to have a Twitter handle, and Twitter sucks on the best of days, and it is certainly not experiencing its best of days right now. So I don't have one, and it was just faster and easier to do this by myself. So at the literally Florida tier, we're going to have locations that just wretched, just a threat to human life, veritable hellscapes that no one should live in, literally like Florida. And I think this is the end for Jalapeno. There it is, 38. Oh, stats are pretty well rounded, although none are exceptional. Hopefully that changes as we get further into the Charizard line. He now knows Slash, which was a huge game changer. So Usain, Jolt, and Randy will be easiest to level. Next is Beanbag. I am currently 2 hours into the grind. Ugh. I'm fine. What? I'm fine. I don't know why you don't think I'm fine. I am totally fine. Back to the grind. So forgive the sizing. This is the best that I can do. Here we have our list of all the locations in Kanto that just are not habitable. There's no space for human habitation. They are overrun with monsters, and these places are just a threat to your health, literally like Florida. Next, we're moving up to the slum level. So here we have a tier of locations that do have some measure of habitability. Maybe there are actual buildings there, some sort of resources that could sustain human life, but there are still strikes against it that you should not consider living there. And those locations are Alright, let's see if this is it. There it is. Our boy Beanbag. 38, almost 100 attack. What's more impressive is that hit pool. 177 max HP. What a wall. Alright, 2 left. This should be really quick relatively. So let's swap in Usain Jolt. I've added another 45 minutes to the playtime. Oh, it's starting to get late. But we're going to keep on trucking. And bingo. Here are our settings that qualify as slums. So each of these have some major danger to them that even though you might technically be able to live there, you probably shouldn't. In order, we have poison Pokemon, outback Pokemon, exploding Pokemon, ghost Pokemon, Bill's weird fucking hobbies, and ghost Pokemon again. Next here is the OK Sublet. These are places where it's perfectly fine to live, if not preferable. You wouldn't move out for a couple years until you had a well enough paying job that you could afford a little bit more dignity in your life. So not a bad place to start out, but certainly not a place where you want to be stuck. The settings I believe reside in this category are... Was that it? That was it. 38. Look at that speed, though. Look at that speed, though. That's great. All right, so that was another 20 minutes on the clock. I'm fading. But I got one more to do. And yeah, we're gonna make it through. I'm gonna do this all in one sitting. I will not be stopped. Bam. There's our OK sublets. So, in no particular order, I know some people would want to live in big towns like Celadon or Saffron, but I don't. I think that they would be overcrowded. I wouldn't want to be around that many people. Also, they both have crime problems. Same with Viridian City. Not a big fan of all that crime. Seems to be pretty dangerous. Pewter City is boring as sin because the only thing to do there is to go to a museum. Pallet Town is even more boring, and it's so small that your neighbors would always know your business, which is just obnoxious. And on top of that, like, you shouldn't stay living where you grew up. You should try and find your own spot. Cinnabar Island would actually be pretty dope because as an island nation, it's got beaches all around it, and the weather would probably be pretty interesting to live through. But the problem is that in later games we see that it's built on top of an active volcano that does erupt. So, okay to sublet, but get out. Next are the Sweet Digs. These are places that if you're there, stay there. Sounds pretty slick. Maybe they're not paradise, but they're pretty good. And those settings are... Okay, everyone. Have a seat. I have something important I need to tell you. See, I have accidentally told you 2 lies. And by accidentally, I mean I totally lied to you on purpose. Try not to hold it against me. The first lie is that this is me playing on my Game Boy. It's not. I'm sorry. I know in the beginning I said that I wouldn't play this on a ROM and that, you know, you wouldn't steal a car or whatever, but you know, it's a ROM. It's easier to record on OBS this way, but in my defense, I do have a physical copy of the game and an old school Game Boy Color. See, there they are right now. That's me. Hi. So this is more of a digital backup of a game I do have the legitimate rights to be owning. But the second thing I lied to you about is the nature of this ROM that I'm playing on. There's a program called a randomizer, and with a randomizer you can make all kinds of cool things happen. You can use it to completely change the nature of the game, what spawns where, who evolves at what levels, what they evolve into, what moves they learn, yada yada. I use randomizers and ROMs for only one purpose, and that's enabling impossible evolutions. You see, Randy's 37 now, and he shouldn't evolve. You cannot evolve Kadabra unless if you trade him. He's one of, I believe, 4 Pokemon that act that way in Gen 1. You have to trade them in order to evolve, but obviously you can't trade on a ROM. But what's this? Randy's evolving. This is impossible evolutions. It allows me to get an Alakazam when otherwise it would be impossible. Now, some of you might feel as though this is cheating, right? This is not in keeping with a Nuzlocke, that this is a step too far. I should be stuck with Kadabra. I shouldn't be able to get Alakazam. I should have to deal with the lower stats of the Kadabra. And to those I say, please check the introduction video on my channel. I was very clear that I don't have as much time to do this as I would like. I have bills to pay. I have multivitamins to take. We're making some concessions. And that includes letting me get the super powerful Alakazam if I happen to have the good luck to catch an Abra. To be honest with you, I didn't think I would be able to catch it. I enabled the impossible evolutions for Gengar. I did not think it would be possible to get Abra. It just didn't seem like it would happen. Then it happened and I went, uh-oh. Now this is a discussion I'm going to have someday. So your mom and I have been talking. We think you're old enough to know about ROMs and impossible evolutions. So sorry you had to learn about it this way, Slugger, but you know, hopefully after this we can all go get some ice cream and you'll feel better about it. All joking aside, I understand that if this ruins the experience for you of watching a Nuzlocke, if this is just a step too far for you, I respect that is your truth. Feel free to move on. No hard feelings, but at the end of this run, whether I win or lose, I'm happy with this choice that I've made. I don't feel I've gone outside of the spirit of what this Nuzlocke was ever supposed to be. I'm a filthy casual. I wear it proudly. And with that, I will finish up this grind and get to 38. Wham! So, Cerulean City's pretty good digs, well spread out, developed but still small, not a real problem with crime. There's stuff to do. There's a long stretch of walk across Nugget Bridge that you can see the water, plenty of activities, plenty of spots for dates. There's even childcare to the south, which is pretty neat. The only reason I think it doesn't rank higher is because I hate Misty, just because of how she took out my bat. And because like she had me sweating and freaked out of the entire fight. So biased, it might rank higher, but that's where it is now. Vermilion City, a lot of the same reasons. So again, a lot of waterfront property. We love that. An ocean liner, luxury ocean liners you could get out on. Cool, interesting date spots to the north and to the east. There's Diglett Caves. You can see some rock formations if you're feeling dangerous. Yeah, I think it's pretty slick. The only point against it is that it worships an American, and in this socialist household, we cannot let that stand. So by process of elimination, the best space to live in all of Kanto has to be, without question, Fuchsia City. And the reason I say Fuchsia City is because, just like you've seen in my metrics before, there's stuff to do in Fuchsia City, right? So there's the bike path to your west. There's that cool little maze thing and all the docks to your east in case you want to get involved with some water or go into the maze. They have their own little like zoo area to the north, not including the safari zone, so you don't have to endanger your life in order to see wild and exotic animals up close. The beachfront property allows for fishing and swimming down to the south. It is the first location where you can start buying Ultra Balls so that you know that this place is just well developed economically. You probably find a good high-paying job here. Like, Fuchsia City seems to be the best of all worlds. And that's my ranking list. If you want to make your own, or you want to argue with anything that I've said, please feel free. I'd love to see how your list rates with mine. And I believe... Let's see. Yep, that's 38. Oh, that special's so good. Psychic. Okay. We can let go of confusion. He's a full-fledged Alakazam now. And with that, we've accomplished our goal. I need to turn battle animations back on. I turned them off just to save time during grinding because I don't need to see the animations, especially if I'm not showing you most of the grinding. But here's the crew. 38s across the board, just like I said. It took me an extra 20 minutes to finish Alakazam, so I lost track of how long this whole process has been taking me. It's taken me over 3 hours, though, editing CocoPapa, if you could put the time up on the screen. That is how long we've spent grinding. We added to our previous total, editing CocoPapa. CocoPapa, please do the math for me. There we go. And we are ready now to continue on with the game. Thank you for joining me with another episode of a grinding episode. They take me a lot of time, but hopefully they are more entertaining and shorter for you. We are going to cut there. I appreciate you joining me again. Again, I hope there's no hard feelings about the reveals that have happened in this episode. As always, I hope you had fun. I hope you leveled up. I look forward to evolving with you in the future. And as always, I'll smell you later.